Welcome to the first episode of the DPSN Playbook. My name is Becca Wolf, and I will be hosting you guys each and every week. I will be coming in with you guys with some recaps from our games last week, as well as a little bit of preview for the week to come. So stick it around here, and let's get going. So starting off this past week was our men's soccer team taking on the Purcell Marion Cavaliers. They win big, 8-0, with goals by Luke, Devin, Colin, and Ethan Thomas, which Ethan Thomas hits it in an upper 90 to win that game. Caden Lewis with another shutout and 3 saves on the night. Fairbanks, Lewis, Schneeman, and Thomas also contributed in the assist category. So starting off a fantastic Tuesday that was our varsity women's volleyball team taking on the Taylor Yellow Jackets. So while they ended up losing their first match and sets of the season, they did battle throughout the entire night, where in the past we would see teams kind of go the opposite. They would have one bad set and the next set is worse or maybe a little bit better, but they kept getting better as the night goes on. It makes you very interested to see how they are going to handle Indian Hill, which we will have later on in the show. 48 total digs, and leading the way was Reagan Osborne with 16 digs and Grace Loudon with 10 digs. Abby Beach contributed to 15 assists and 8 of those digs. Pettyjohn ended up with 3 kills, 1 dig, and 1 block, and she is close to coming to the top 5 in career blocks. Plenty of stats go around, but I am going to highlight Miss Riley Carr. I've had the opportunity to see her play the last couple weeks. I saw her a little bit last year on the JV level, and I must say I am very, very impressed with how this girl has handled herself coming in. She is the only new player on this team, and she is handling it with so much grace, and I'm excited to see how the rest of the season looks for her. So while our varsity volleyball team was inside taking on the Yellow Jackets, our men's soccer team was actually outside taking on the Yellow Jackets and drew them 1-1, which is a huge result for our guys. It has been quite a bit since we've not only gotten a result from a game against Taylor, but also we weren't blown out or anything. So that just goes to show how well our men's soccer team is playing this year. And this just adds to another big-time Wildcat Tuesday that was. So some stats for the game. Luke with another goal. Carter with the assist on that goal. And Caden with another 7 assists to keep us in this one. I am recording this on Thursday prior to our game against the Mount Healthy Fighting Owls, which would be game 3 of 3 for the day. So interested to see that one. Again, I want to apologize to both them and varsity volleyball. As you can tell, my voice is not 100%. I have been down and out this week, and I had to miss those games, but I promise I'm going to be back better than ever. Our varsity women's soccer team falls out at Taylor in what ended up being another hot one. Our team is young for them, so we look to continue to build on their season. So volleyball took on the Indian Hill Braves in their second action of the season. Couple key stat lines. Abby Pettyjohn with 7 kills, an ace, 3 digs, and 2 blocks. She is currently within striking distance of moving into the top 5 all time. So we hopefully, cross our fingers, she will get that next week. As well as another good dig game for our Wildcats. They had a total of 50. And against a team like Indian Hill, who swings a lot, you look to have a lot of digs as in total. So Reagan Osborne had 16 digs, and she also had 2 blocks as well Grace Loudon with 7 digs, and then Abby Beach with 10 digs, as well as 15 aces. They are on the road all next week, so we will not see them in video action until the following week, but our girls look to contend in the CHL. They have faced 2 of the top opponents that they will face this year in the Taylor Yellow Jackets and the Indian Hill Braves. It's good to get them back to back, kind of see how we are. Currently, their record stands at 5. Alrighty, so our undefeated men's soccer team taking on the Mount Healthy Owls. Luke gets us going here in the first 10 minutes of action with a goal off of a goalkeeper rebound, and then a nice ball out by Colin Schneeman here, and then Carter Kinnemer finishes up with a nice ball over, just so happens to get deflected off of a defender straight to the goalkeeper. So for this being the first episode, this is what you are going to see for most of it, hopefully, is kind of this little overview of our highlight we usually do. However, this was the only game that I made it to that has video. So another ball out by Schneeman. And then in the second half, the game is tied 2-2. Schneeman at the penalty spot. The ref's going to go over and make sure that the goalkeeper understands the rules. He has to keep his feet on the line until contact is made. Schneeman's going to take it and score easy. So it brings us up 3-2, and then the Wildcats end up taking the lead the rest of the way, and with the win 5-2 for our Wildcats. All right, to finish off the week, our football team headed over to Stargill Stadium to take on the Schroeder Jaguars, and unfortunately they did come away with a 2-score loss. So a couple stats: our QB Tink Sellers went 7 for 14 for 91 yards and an interception, as well as he followed it up rushing with 8 attempts for 44 yards and a touchdown. Morgan Brown tapped on the extra touchdown there. Colin Schneeman went 2 for 2 on 2-point conversions. Then on defense, our top 3, Morgan Brown, Kevin Guzman, Isaiah Alford. Brown had 10 total tackles, 6 solo, 1 sack, and 2 for loss. Kevin Guzman, 11 total tackles, 7 solo, and Isaiah Alford with 6 total tackles and 8 solo, for a total of, we had 210 total yards. We look to build that up next week against the Norwood Indians. They coming into town. We look to bounce back from this week's game and perform well for one of our highly anticipated nights of the season, our first responders, veterans, and active military night. So get there early. The welcome ceremony where all of them will kind of introduce their families, that kind of a thing, where they served, what they are currently doing now. That will start at 6:30, and kickoff is slated for 7 o'clock. Should be cool down for this one. Unfortunately, it has been a little bit toasty this week, so we look forward next week to be a lot cooler of a week. So that'll wrap me up here. I'm sorry there isn't as many videos. Hopefully next week, as I am working toward 100%, we will have more 4 games on tap for DPSN next week and a multitude of other games. So looking forward to getting back into the swing of things. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you all next week.